What's going on, guys? Alex here, and as a Samsung Galaxy user, there are a lot of mistakes that I see other Galaxy users making with their phone. And some of these mistakes are related to the settings of your phone or just general mistakes that I see people making all the time on their Galaxy device that they don't need to be doing. So in today's video, I'm going to show you some of these mistakes and make sure that you never make them again. So let's not waste any more time and get right into the video. Alright guys, now the first mistake that I see Galaxy users making is not changing the default camera settings on their phone and just using the camera with the default settings out of the box. And even though this phone does have some great cameras, there's definitely some settings that you're going to want to change just to get a better quality photo or video out of your phone. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up your camera, go to your video tab, and if you tap up here, you'll see that by default it's set to Full HD 30 FPS. Now Full HD is 1080p, which is not the best quality. You're definitely going to want to switch this over to UHD, and now your phone is going to shoot in 4K 30 FPS. So you're going to get much higher resolution and better quality videos out of your phone. You can also set it to 8K, but honestly, that's a bit overkill for most people. You don't really need to shoot in 8K. You're not even going to notice the difference, but definitely change it to 4K and you're going to get much better resolution out of your cameras. And while we're on the topic of cameras, if we go over to the photo tab up here, you'll see that it's set to 12 megapixels by default on a camera that can shoot up to 50 and even 200 megapixels. But you don't always want to shoot 50 or 200 megapixels because if the lighting isn't the best, then you're actually going to get worse quality photos. So a sweet spot would be somewhere between 12 megapixels and 50 megapixels. And you can see right here, I have 24 megapixels, but you might not see this because this setting is actually not available by default and you have to enable it. And if you want to be able to shoot in 24 megapixels as well, what you're going to want to do is go into your GoodLock application. Then in here, look for the camera assistant module right over here. And we're going to scroll down to the photo section. And you'll see right there, it says 24 megapixel resolution. Select it and enable both of these toggles. And now in your camera, you will have that option for 24 megapixels. And that's just the sweet spot because you get more megapixels than 12, but it's still going to give you good quality photos in low light conditions. So definitely go ahead and update your default camera settings to get better photos and videos out of your Galaxy phone. Now, the next mistake that I see people making has to do with another default setting, but this one is specifically with the Ultra phone. So if you have the S26 Ultra, S25 Ultra, or any of the other Ultra phones, this phone actually has a better, higher resolution display than any other Galaxy phone, but it is not enabled by default. So if you want the best quality display, what you're going to want to do is go into your phone settings, swipe down to display, and then look for screen resolution and make sure to set it to QHD+, because by default, it will be set to Full HD, which you can see is a 1080p display. But if you want the best, sharpest quality out of your phone, and you're definitely going to want that because you paid a lot of money for this phone, might as well get the best experience, go ahead and set it to QHD and hit apply. And Samsung phones actually have another secret feature that gets enabled when you enable QHD+, and it's called Pro Scaler. And essentially what it is an upscaling technology that makes everything on your display look even better. So if you're ever looking at a low quality video or photo, your phone will actually automatically upscale that image to make it look sharper. Now, if you're somebody who cares about battery life, I'm going to show you guys one setting that you need to change on your Galaxy phone that's going to make the biggest improvement in battery life, and it has nothing to do with any of the actual battery optimization settings. And this is to just simply go into your phone settings, go to display and set it to dark mode, because all modern phones have OLED displays, and that means that any part of your display that is completely black, those pixels will actually be off completely and not use any battery to power that part of your display. Whereas when you switch it to light mode, you can see that everything just lights up, and that's going to use more battery to power your phone. So if you care about battery life, set it to dark mode, and as you use your phone over the day, this will definitely add up to save you lots and lots of battery life. Now, the next mistake I see users making, and this has to do with everybody, not just Galaxy users, but I always see iPhone users, Android users, everybody closing out all the background apps on your phones because people think that this is using battery life or is just draining resources out of your phone, but that's not actually the case. Your phone is actually really good at managing these background apps. So no matter if you're using a Galaxy phone, a Pixel phone, an iPhone, anytime that you open up an application and then you close it out and leave it running in the background, it actually goes into a low powered state mode and uses no resources or battery to keep it there. And in fact, closing it out entirely and having to reopen it from scratch is actually going to use more resources and more battery on your phone to have to do that. So don't worry about this anymore. You can open up all the applications that you want and just leave them there running in the background. They are not going to use any battery or resources on your phone, and it will actually take less resources from your phone to reopen them from the background than relaunching them from scratch after completely exiting them. The next mistake that I see Galaxy users making is not using maintenance mode anytime that they need to take their phone in for a service. So maybe you need a battery replacement or to fix your screen or anything on your phone. Anytime that you hand your phone over to the person fixing it, they essentially have complete access to everything on your phone. And that's exactly what this setting exists for. So to enable it, we're going to go into our phone settings, swipe down to device care, and right here at the bottom, you'll see maintenance mode. And it says right there, maintenance mode protects your privacy while someone else is using your phone, such as when you're sending it for repairs. So there you go. Our phone has now restarted and you can see there's no pin to unlock it. The wallpaper has reset and all of our applications are gone. And if we go into our phone, you can see we don't have any contacts. If we go to our messages, you can see there's no history here. And of course, if we go into our gallery, there is no photos, no data, and no personal information on this phone. But the person servicing it can still access the camera. They can still use the S Pen and do everything that they need in order to fix our phone. And then when they are done with our phone and hand it back to us, we can exit maintenance mode by just tapping over here, and our phone will reboot back to normal. Now, the next mistake that I see Galaxy users making is not using scrolling screenshots on their Galaxy phone. So if they ever want to take a screenshot of maybe a long web page or a recipe, a lot of times I see people just taking a screenshot and then swiping down a little bit, taking the next screenshot, and then swiping down a little bit more, taking the next screenshot, and then they have a whole bunch of screenshots in their gallery. But you don't actually need to do this because you can take a scrolling screenshot. And to do that, just simply take your screenshot, and then in this toolbar down here, you'll see you have these down arrows, and you can just tap on it to take a longer screenshot, or you can tap and hold on it, and it will keep scrolling. And then until you are ready and you have everything you need, you can just release it and you can see you have your screenshot and you'll have the whole entire screenshot and everything that you needed all in one screenshot. And the cool thing about screenshots is you'll see that there's an option here to go to source. And when you tap on it, it will actually take you back to the website of where you took that screenshot. So if you need to reference something else, or maybe you missed something in your screenshot, you can go back directly to here, even after a long time. If you forgot where that website was, you can just use your screenshot to go back there. So definitely a really cool little tip. Now, another mistake that I see Galaxy users making all the time has to do with the fingerprint scanner on the always on display. So you can see my always on display is on and you can see the little fingerprint icon right here and I can unlock my phone. But if you are not using an always on display, or maybe your phone is in power saving mode, that always on display will be off and you will not see the fingerprint scanner. And a lot of Galaxy users think that they can't unlock their phone from here. So what I'll see them do is actually go to their lock screen and then put their fingerprint to unlock their phone. But you don't need to do this because that fingerprint scanner is still there, even though the icon doesn't show. So from your always on display, even if it's off, all you gotta do is just put your finger right there and you can see it will unlock your phone. The next mistake that I see Galaxy users making isn't really their fault because we have been led to believe that this is just the better option. But if we go into our phone settings, select connections, and then go to mobile networks, in this network mode, you will probably have yours set to 5G preferred because we have been told that 5G is much faster, it is much better. And the reality is, yes, 5G is better if you have 5G antennas beside you, because if you do not, your phone will be searching for that 5G network. And if it is out of range or just barely in range, your phone will have a really hard time toggling that 5G network or just trying to, make it work. But if you set this to LTE, you might actually see an improvement in your network speeds. And this will actually greatly increase your battery life because 5G is going to use a lot more battery, especially if your phone is having a hard time grabbing that signal. So just set it to LTE and you might see an improvement in your connection and battery life. Now, if you have the new Galaxy S26 Ultra, Samsung actually increased the wired charging speeds on this phone to 60 watts. But of course, phones these days do not come with charging bricks. So if you're using an older charging brick, you're not actually getting the fastest charging speeds possible on your phone. So you're definitely going to want to check it and make sure that it says 60 watts or it's capable of at least 60 watt output. And if you don't have a fast enough charging brick for your phone, I'll leave a link for you guys in the description below of the one I use. There's a whole bunch of them out there from Anker, Ugreen. You can pick whatever you want. But if you want the one that I'm using, I'll leave a link for you in the description below. Alright guys, the next mistake that I see Galaxy users making is if they ever take a video on their Galaxy phone and then they want to take a photo of that specific moment in the video, maybe because they just want a photo version of that part of the video, maybe they want to print it or save it for later. What I'll see people do is just take a screenshot of that specific part in the video, but that is actually the wrong way to do it. What you should do instead is if you tap on the video while it's playing, you can find the specific point in the video that you want to take a photo, and you'll see this little button down here. If you tap on it, you can see that it creates an image out of that part of the video. And now if I go ahead and show you the difference between those two photos that I took, you can see that this one was the screenshot, and if I swipe up on it, this is a 1440 by 2927 4 megapixel photo, but the one that I took the right way is a 3840 by 2160 resolution 8 megapixel photo. So this is a much larger file size, and therefore it is a better, higher resolution photo. And you can also see in the thumbnail right here, the screenshot captured the black bars of the video. So all of this is actually part of the photo, and if you're ever going to print it, it's going to come out like this, and you're going to have those black bars on the top and bottom. Whereas this one, there's nothing down here. The actual photo is just this part right here, so you're not going to get these black bars at the top and bottom. So if you ever need to take a photo of a specific part in a video, this is the right way to do it. But there you go, guys. That is going to do it for this video of some of the Galaxy mistakes that I see people making on their phones. And if you want to see some cool hidden Galaxy settings on your phone that you might not know about, check out this video right here. And if you want to see some of my favorite quality of life settings I suggest everybody enable on their phone, check out this video right here. But that's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.